Who doesn't love magic? Got a great show for you today, but first, a word about our sponsor, LiveRishi.com. Wellness products. Been using these guys for years, and if you've been listening to the show for a while or know me well, you know I demand quite a bit from my body on a physical level, and the Rishi rub I started with, this stuff is great. It's great for aches and pains and just overall relief. Moved into the CBD oil, and if you have not jumped on this CBD oil train, now is the time. Amazing for stress relief, and where I get a huge benefit is a great night's sleep. So jump over to liverishi.com, enter the code TABLE, and you will get a surprisingly great discount. I can't tell you what it is here, but jump over there, check it out, and it'll show you how much I appreciate you supporting them who support us. So let's get to the show. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Had Chris come on, awesome story about him going from a butcher in a grocery store. He saw a guy do a coin trick, boom, changed his path forever. Now, and for many years, he's been a professional magician. And staying with the format of the show, we talk about a lot of crazy other things like the Magic Castle in California, Disneyland, pool, outdoor swimming pool, old school comedians like Rodney Dangerfield, pit bulls, dogs purring, and how about raw meat with gunpowder in it? Woo! Let's get to it.
You can?
You sounded good.
All right.
Yep.
See, I never did this.
You got one of those. You got one of those gravelly voices that travels well.
Oh, good, good. I think.
So, where'd you come from?
New York. I'm up in Poughkeepsie now. Originally from the Bronx, born and raised.
Yep.
About 10 years ago, we moved out to Poughkeepsie.
Man,
I got three kids, and we were paying for private school in the Bronx, and I was like, forget about this. We could move upstate, buy a house. So.
A lot cheaper.
Schools are a lot cheaper. Schools are amazing. In the Arlington School District, they're one of the best school districts in New York. So
I was born and raised in Oneida, New York.
Where's that?
Just outside of Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up
absolutely.
Central New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done a few shows up in Syracuse over the last couple of years, so I'm somewhat familiar with the area.
So to put it in context, what do you do for a living?
Do magic.
Magic?
Yeah, mostly magic. Do a few things on the side, but mostly magic.
Magic? And how'd you get into that?
I was actually, a funny story, I was a butcher by trade. I worked for D'Agostino Supermarkets in the city, and I worked with a guy who did magic part-time. And he showed me a trick. He put a coin in my hand, and in my hand, it turned into a totally different coin. From that moment on, I was hooked. That's it.
How old were you when that happened?
I was actually 18.
18?
Yeah,
and you're working in a butcher shop?
Yeah, a supermarket.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I was a butcher in a supermarket, and I did that for 14 years. From that moment on, though, I knew that magic somehow was going to be a part of my life. Like, I liked it as a kid. Everybody always asked me if I, have you been doing it since you were a little kid? And I had the same interest I think any other little boy does. I had a magic kit and a few tricks, but the magic bug didn't really bite till that moment.
Till that guy did that to you.
Absolutely.
So then how did you go? What was your next step from there then?
Next step was I convinced him to show me how that trick was done, which he didn't want to do. But
of course,
I was like, listen, I'm going to have to kill you because I need to know. That says I need to.
And I'm a butcher by trade, so careful.
Yeah. I got these knives. I mean, come on. So he gave in, obviously. And he took me to the magic shop, place where he used to go and buy things. And it was an awesome shop. It was up on 34th Street. And the cool part of it is it's not a storefront or anything. It's in a building. It's kind of hidden away. You got to know where it is. And nice. If I'm correct, I think it was up on the 6th floor in a building. It was called Hornman and Flosso's Magic Shop. It was actually owned by Houdini years ago. So
Is it still there? Is it still there?
It's the
You can
funny.
put them. You can put them up. So
Oh, good.
There you go.
The,
Yep.
the funny thing is, no, it's not. But right next door to it is another magic shop that I used to go to called Tannins. Tannins at the time, I found Flosso Horniman's first, but Tannins was on 32nd Street. I found out about that afterwards. But now it's a new owner, and it just so happens they moved into the same building, same floor, right next door from where Horniman and Flosso's magic
Wow.
shop was. So it's a crazy thing. But it was a really cool shop. It was like one of the shops that you would see on TV. It was an old, dusty, had every magic trick for a little kid. You would see little kids come in and their eyes are just really, really big.
Right.
And the guy running it was Jackie, and his father Al Flosso. He was called the Coney Island Faker, and he was a great magician. He passed away. His son Jackie took over, and Jackie, he reminded me of W.C. Fields. And he would try to sell you everything. I'd go in on payday and I'd give him my money and he'd tell me what I just bought, So, and it was good. And I would take my stuff and get on the train, and I would just go over everything I just bought while I was going back to the Bronx on the train, looking through at that time, trick cards and decks and all kind of stuff like that.
Kind of like
So-
block and tackling, right? Your basic stuff
yeah,
at that time,
exactly.
right? And
Your
then,
basic.
did you get any formal training? Did you ever go to like a school or get a teacher or a coach?
I did have a teacher and a coach. I met a gentleman at Flosso's, at Horniman and Flosso's, called, his name was Mike Bornstein. And he was a great magician. He was a magician in vaudeville years ago.
Huh.
And it's crazy because he performed as, I guess that time it was popular to be an Asian magician. At the time it was like Oriental magic. You can't say Oriental anymore,
Yeah.
So,
but I have a joke that I say Oriental means rugs and lamps.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Asian.
Exactly.
My wife corrects me on that all the time
and it's
as well.
funny. So I met him there, and he started giving me lessons. So I
Okay.
would go to his house, and he taught me the basics on. I really didn't want to use trick magic and trick decks or anything like that because I wanted to be as real and as pure as it can be. So he taught me a lot of sleight of hand. Cards, coins, things of that
Okay.
nature, because I wanted it to be pure. I didn't want anybody to say, "Oh, give me that. Let me see that deck." That's like a TV magic deck or
Yeah,
something.
sure,
So,
sure.
just so you see.
What do you
this
got
is-
here?
That's the,
Oh,
the
who's
guy
that?
right there. That's Mike Bornstein.
Oh,
That was
you
the
guys
guy I
said
took
you-
lessons from.
You guys send me that picture, so
I will
I'll put it up on.
And the funny thing is, this is
that is
him.
awesome.
This
is
is
he
him
floating
when-
that dollar?
That's him when he performed. How crazy is
Whoa!
that?
So he's an old white dude
Yes.
first, and then now he looks like an Asian dude.
Absolutely, and that was very common back then. There was more than
Really? What year was that?
I would say
Send me
I'm-
those pictures.
I'm thinking the 40s, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll
is he like
definitely send them to
is
you.
he like floating that dollar bill?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. he was known for doing a lot of paper magic with money and things like that, making
okay.
them float or levitate or like lever on the edge of each other and things of that nature.
Oh.
He was great with coin magic as well, boxes, things penetrating, and
Yeah,
that's
sure.
where I learned a lot of what I do from him.
And the videos that you sent me, a lot of that is strolling magic. Like the ones that I watch, you're like at a location and you're strolling around and you get a crowd going and stuff like that for
Absolutely.
other purpose.
Exactly.
But do you put on shows as well? Do you go and like open for shows, or do you have your own shows?
I do that as well. I do
Okay.
that as well. So I do perform strolling magic. So I'll do that for cocktail parties, corporate events, things like that.
Right.
And I also do stage as well. My stage magic now isn't a magic show anymore. It used to be, but now it's mentalism. So it's
Your
all
sta-
it's a mind reading. Act.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that's kind of
It's like a page in the book. You like pick a word out of a book, a
Yes.
random book, or a
You
random
got it.
page on a book, and you can tell what I'm reading or whatever.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
love those.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hey, you
My wife
want-
and I are both big fans of
You want to
magic.
try something like that real quick?
It might be a little difficult in
I'm
this
thinking
medium.
Maybe if you explained it, no?
Yeah, maybe a little later.
Okay,
It's
cool.
a little tough on this medium.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Without visual. If we were on video, that'd be a little different.
Yeah.
And then when as of right now, is that your main?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
When did you
yeah.
become a full-time magician?
I would say probably about 10 or so years mostly. I've been doing it for 20 years.
Okay.
I started doing kids parties
Sure.
years ago, and that's probably the first. I would say I did kids magic for about 5 years or so. It wasn't really my thing. It was my way of making some money doing it.
Sure.
and doing
Gotta
it
keep the
you know,
refrigerator full.
professionally.
right?
Exactly. But the thing is, it's for me, it's totally different because I wanted to do cards and coins and it's all the sleight of hand
Sure,
that
sure.
just really amazed me and really got me going. Kids magic is a little bit different. You got to learn totally different tricks.
Yeah,
you know?
knock yourself in the head and laugh. And
Yeah,
that
exactly,
kind of thing, right?
exactly. And depending on what age they are, it's almost not real magic at all. I used to do a bunch of daycare centers, and
Okay.
and you're talking about 3 to 5 year olds, and it's not even really magic at that point because they really don't understand the concept of magic. So you're playing with them. You know, you
more
got
of a
the
clown.
rabbit going back and forth, and they see it and you don't, so it's fun. And anytime you get hurt, they think it's hilarious.
Sure,
So like
sure.
you just said, you hit yourself on the head, or I would have a big mallet and I'm banging on something and I hit my hand and my thumb swells up and
Yeah,
they
sure,
think
sure.
that's hilarious.
So it's more at that point. It's more of a clown role than a
Exactly.
magician role.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. And I give it to guys that do children's magic because it's a lot of work. I remember doing kids' birthday parties and I wanted the show to be as great as possible. So I had a big box with all my magic in. I had 2 side tables. I had some music. I had 2 rabbits. You know, sometimes you're carrying all this up like a five-story walk up, you know?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah, you got it. Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Half
a-
hour setup, an hour show, 40 minutes of balloon animals, 20 minutes breakdown, and that's about it. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like you say,
yeah.
$300. And I remember the
That's a hustle.
yeah. And I remember the first strolling gig I did. A company called me up for a cocktail hour, and they said, "How much for an hour strolling?" That's the same thing. I was doing $300 at the time for the magic show, for a kid's show. I said $300 for the hour. Okay, I showed up. I had a deck of cards, couple of coins, a ribbon, a ring, some rope. I walked in 5 minutes before the gig. Did an hour, got
Walked
paid,
out?
left, and I was like, "Wow, I'm done. This
Done.
is for me."
So
You
was
know,
that it? Was that at a wedding reception? You did it?
No, that was a cocktail party for a corporate event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a company party. So
Now, do you have an agent for that kind of stuff, or are you on your own?
I'm on my own. I
Okay.
do have a number of talent agents, and not really talent agents, more like party planners and companies that will call me up and refer me or
Sure,
bring me in
sure.
for events. But I don't have any one person that I work with directly. It's pretty much me.
You're out
So
there
it's
just-
a lot of word of mouth and contacting people, contacting companies. There are a bunch of sites that I'm on, my website. So through all of that, everything comes in.
So
The hair,
do you
little bit
mostly advertise for your corporate stuff, and then if a kids party, quote unquote, kids party comes along, you'll do it just for depending on who it is, or you don't do them at all anymore?
I don't do them at all anymore.
Good for you. All right.
Yeah, so I have a good friend of mine who I refer any kids parties to. So
I got a real good buddy of mine that does that as well. I'll introduce you guys if you don't know him already. We'll
Okay.
talk about that offline.
All right, perfect.
But yeah.
sounds good. Sounds
It's
good.
always good to have connections, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Exactly. And that was the once I started doing that, it was like, okay, I'm done with the kids parties.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'll tell you one thing that was really funny. I got a call from a company and they said, listen, we want you for 3 hours. We're having our annual corporate event. It's going to be about 150 people. So we want 3 hours of strolling. Now, at the time, I only ever did 1 hour. That's all I ever did before that. So I'm
Sure.
like, 3 hours. All right, I'm charging, I don't know what to charge for 3 hours. I think I'm going to go a little high for them. So I said, okay, 3 hours of strolling magic. I'm $800. So the lady goes, I'm sorry, we can't pay you $800. I said, oh. I blew it. I went too high, man.
She
She goes,
like-
our budget is 1,000, so just send us a contract for that. And I'm like, wait, what just happened?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
no party, no mother of the birthday kid said, what, 300? No. Our budget's 4, so we're going to give you that.
Four.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
nice, dude.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And that's not the first time that's happened. And I've heard stories of that happening from other people as well.
Yeah, with their corporate stuff,
Even
yeah.
higher amount, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same old thing. They have to use it or they're going to lose it,
Exactly.
right? So they're
Exactly.
like, okay, our budget's $1,000. I'm going to ask you how much. If you come in 1,500, I'm going to be like, well, I got 1,000. And
Yeah.
you'd be like, no. Or a guy comes in like you and you say 800. You're like, shit, man, we got 1,000. I don't want to lose it here. Take
Yeah.
1,000.
I don't spend it this year, I'm not going to get it next year.
Right,
So
right.
absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So on the magic stuff, do you train? Do you sit in front of the TV, like watching TV and without even thinking, like mess around with coins and cards and like to practice? Or do you like set aside time to actually practice?
Not anymore, unless I'm working on something specific, and I'll set aside time to practice that because I'm out there performing so much
Sure.
that it's almost like constant practice.
That reminds me, my wife, when we first met, she was doing a lot of races like triathlons and stuff like that. And there was a comment made at one point that stuck with me. They don't train much because they're racing like every weekend. So that's like their workout.
Absolutely.
So same with you, right? You're working so much. That's how you stay on top of it.
And the thing that I would say really honed my skills is somebody told me a long time ago, if you want to really get good at your magic, get a restaurant gig. And he told me about a book by this guy named Kirk Charles, like the restaurant magician back then.
Okay.
And I thought that was a great idea. And that's what I did.
You mean like a stand-in spot, like you're there every Thursday night from
yes.
7 to 9 or whatever?
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And I started at an Applebee's in the Bronx. And
half price appetizers.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. I was so scared to go in there. I said, they're going to think this is stupid. You know, they're going to say, But I'm thinking about it. I walked up to the door. And I turned around and I started walking back to my car, right? And I said, nah. I'm not. And then I said, what the hell are they going to do? It's not Vietnam, you know? They're not going to shoot me or anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean, then again, this was Applebee's and, the neighborhood I lived at the time, that was a possibility, but it wasn't
At least stabbed.
It wasn't probable, yeah. So they bring me to the manager, and this is big guy sitting in the back, and he's got 2 guys with him. He looked like a mobster. I was like, oh, are you for real? You know?
Did he have like one single light over his head and he's like
pretty
smoking
much.
it?
But he wasn't smoking. That's about it.
Okay.
That's the only thing. So, I explained to him what I do and how I could bring in customers and keep people there when there's a long wait and all the benefits and that. So he says, all right, let me see what you could do. So I did 3 close-up effects for him. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping to get 1 hour or one day at 2 hours. So he said, oh, how much is it? So I told him, I gave him, this is my price for 2 hours, but you get more of a deal if it's 3 hours. And so he goes, okay, I want you 3 hours, Friday and Sunday.
Boom.
I was like, are you kidding? Boom, let's do it. And
Nice.
that's it. And I worked there for years. And from that Applebee's, he moved to another Applebee's. He took me there with him. So I was still performing at that one, but now I was doing the second one.
Right.
And then there was
so
a
you
manager
picked
there.
up 2.
Moved to another one. Then I was doing a third. I was doing 1 in the Bronx, 2 in Queens. I was filling in at a conference, a golf club for a friend of mine, which wasn't working. So at one time, on a Sunday, I was performing 9 hours of close-up magic at 3 different places. I would do a Sunday brunch from I think it was from 11 to 2. I would and that was upstate. That was Westchester County. I would shoot down to the Bronx. I would do from 3 to 6, and then from there I would shoot out to Queens and do 7 to 10. So that much magic, you cannot not get good.
Yeah,
You know,
I was just going to say.
You're just constantly.
So like if that's your Sunday, which is crazy, and it's amazing to hear the hustle. So whoever's listening, that's what it takes.
Oh yeah.
You know, you
yeah.
can't just
Yeah.
boom, you're David Copperfield. You
At
know, you
one
gotta go
time-
and how many years did you do that? Like,
I
how
did,
long would that?
I would say probably 5 years each of those places, but I also picked up other restaurants as
sure.
well. So at one time, the most I was doing, I was performing at 5 restaurants, 6 nights a week. So it was absolutely insane. I had to let go of 2 of them because it was just
Too
too
much.
much, you know.
Man, if you get a new trick, talk about being able
That's
to
the
hone
thing.
that so
That's
fast,
the thing.
right?
Yes, yes. Which unfortunately, I don't do that anymore. I mean, it gets there, but not as quick as it does there. Because then you got a new effect.
yeah.
You're just doing it again and again and again and again.
So-
and there's so much more than the trick. Because you could look at yourself in the mirror and you could try to fool yourself as much as you want. You're not really going to learn how to do that trick till it's audience tested, till
Absolutely.
it's angle tested,
Yeah.
till one person, 8 people. You have to be able to do it in all kind of situations.
See, what I was thinking was, yeah, sure, I'm sitting face on with you, but now you got a half circle of people around you. So now everybody's seeing it at a different angle, and you got to make that work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now-
and also, you know what to do in that situation and what not to do. You know, some things you could
find
do
out
completely
quick, huh?
surrounded. Some things not.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, give me a average night at Applebee's. Like, you mentioned that you were, so if there's a wait to be seated, like you would go entertain those people?
Yes. While the
Okay.
people are waiting to be seated, I would go because you don't want them to leave.
Sure,
You don't want them
sure.
to get pissed and end up walking out, and because now they just lost the table. So
Right,
how
right.
much is that table costing to them?
Sure.
So if you think about that and how much you're paying me, definitely worth it. Also, you're keeping people happy. You're adding something extra, a little extra bonus that your competition might not have.
Right.
At that time, that was a long time ago. So I was transitioning out of Kids Magic, but I was still doing balloon animals. So if they had kids
Kids,
there,
you could-
I'm making balloon animals for them as well.
Right,
So
right. And then what, you would go around and hit the tables
Yes.
too? Like you would stroll around and, like, if I was with a group of people and we were having dinner, you'd walk up and be like, hey, you want to see a trick?
exactly.
How
exactly.
fun is that?
Yep. So it
don't
makes
know.
that wait time between the time you ordered and the time that your food comes out seem very, very short.
Sure,
Also, the kitchen staff and the wait staff knew to use me. So if this table, their food is being backed up, go to table 3, keep them busy. So
how
they
cool.
don't
Nice.
seem like there's this long wait. Because now I'm there. And it's funny because there's times where people complain about the wait and they'll send me over there and the food comes out and they actually push the food away for a minute because they're not finished watching
It's
me.
a trick, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's actually genius,
Yeah.
you know?
And so many times a table, let's say there's a table of 2. Guy comes with his wife and I amaze them. They'll go home and he'll tell his friend. And his friend, he'll be, oh, come on, that's crazy. Were you drunk? No, I'm telling you, you got to see this guy. So now that table 2 turns into table 4 because they bring other people back.
Yeah, of course.
And people come in and pick that restaurant to have parties just because they know I'm there. And I'll tell them that. I say, listen, if you hire me for an hour on the side, this is my fee, X. You come in this time, I'll spend a little extra time with you, and you're getting me for free.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're much better off doing that. So,
Now, did you have a deal with the management? Like you could pimp yourself out?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he knew that you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was part of
so
the
I
deal,
got paid
right?
from the restaurant,
Right.
and then I was able to give out
Phew.
business cards. So
Yeah.
I was getting paid to market myself and to practice.
And to practice,
It
yeah.
was it was a beautiful
Huh.
thing. So
So, how did you get the video that you sent me? It's a surprise, or it's like a proposal.
Marriage
right?
proposal. Yes,
How
yes.
did you get into that?
that whole thing started with my next door neighbor. Believe it or not,
You guys, you come over and he was like, "Hey, man, let's."
Yeah, he said, "Listen, I want to, I want to propose to my girlfriend, and I was thinking, you do magic, and maybe you could do something cool, and help me do that." So I was like, "Yeah." So anything like that, I can't just do something small. I was
Sure.
like, "Give me a week or so, let me think some things through, and we'll make this happen." And he wanted to do it down at Washington Square Park.
Okay.
because that's where he met his girlfriend. So I said, great. I thought up this whole idea because guys are always on the street, performing. I go to Central Park when I got into magic to see magicians out there performing street magic. I said, we'll do this. I'll make believe I'm performing on the street. You come up with your girlfriend. Stop, see what's going on. I'll do a few generic tricks, show you guys a few tricks, and then I'll produce the ring. So he thought that was a great idea. I brought my brother-in-law with me to video. So that video is actually on my YouTube, that first video.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it was a little crazy. They came up, I did some tricks. I had them sign cards that became one card. So it's really romantic.
Right.
I produced a flower, a rose, and I gave him the rose to give to her, and he did. And then I said, you know what, can I see that for a second? I took the rose back, and I took some paper, crumpled up the paper on the stem of the rose, and I had him hold it. And I lit the paper on fire, and it burst into a big flame, and when the flame was gone, the ring was there. And then he took the ring off, got down on his knees.
And she was watching the whole time.
And she was watching the whole thing. Yeah.
Holy man.
And had no idea. Totally by surprise.
And it was a huge success.
Yes.
And then that sparked an idea. You're like, ooh, maybe I should.
Exactly. I said, wait a minute. I could do this. This is great. So
Talk about a niche market.
Yeah. Yeah. So I put that on my website. I let people know I do this. I started getting a few calls here and there, and now I've kind of honed it a little bit over the years because first of all, I wanted to get rid of the fire because if I'm doing it in a restaurant or nowadays the way terrorism and everything is, I've done a lot of these in Grand Central Station, and there's always police around, National Guard. I don't want to do anything that's going to bring attention to me. I don't need to get tackled and thrown into cuffs.
Make a good video.
I was just going to say that. You're right. It would, but not what I'm looking for. So I kind of honed it a little bit. I got rid of some things that were angly, like producing the rose. And so
right.
Now what I do is they'll come up and I'll get a crowd ahead of time. So I'm already performing for some people. They walk up. I have them send me a picture. I have him send me a picture.
So you know what she looks like?
So I know what they look like. So I'm not doing anything for the wrong person, for the wrong people. And do a few generic effects. But then I'll start to hone in on them. And I customize a few very romantic effects. So
I was going to say, do you have a conversation with the bridegroom, whoever hires you?
Oh, yeah.
To see, not everyone's the same, right? You kind of mix it up a little bit?
We do.
Okay.
I've gotten to the point where I have a pretty fine-tuned set of what I do. But again, this is his proposal. So I explain everything to him. And if he wants to change anything, we'll do that. I have no problem. I'll do something totally different if he wants to.
Sure.
But I've done this so much that I think it kind of works perfectly. I love the customized romantic effects where she'll think of a card and it ends up with his name on it, or he'll think of a card ends up with her name on it, or I'll borrow a dollar bill from them and their names appear on the dollar.
Right.
So things like that, which go over really, really well. Now, what I will do is I'll ask him, as far as those effects are concerned, does he want me to do those before the proposal or afterwards, dependent on his girlfriend? Because if she's looking for a proposal and she's really, checking everything and waiting for it to happen, she might have that indication there. Okay, something's
going to be going on.
Something's going to be going on. So then I'll save that for afterwards.
So then you give him a little. So he proposes, everything goes well. Then you give him a little show.
I'll give him a private show. So
okay.
What I do at the Grand Central Station is there's a place upstairs, beautiful little lounge called Campbell Apartment. I think the guy that ran it years ago, it used to be his office. Okay. Really, really nice. So I've spoken to them over the years. And afterwards, I'll take the couple over there. up there at a private table. I buy them 2 glasses of champagne, and I'll put on a little private show for them of 3 or 4 customized effects.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
all added to it. I don't even charge for that. That's my gift to them.
Sure.
So
And then do you end up at their wedding reception as a strolling magic or cocktail hour?
I have done. I have, and I always let them know that
Like,
I'm
hey, I do
definitely
this too.
available for that as well. So
Yeah, because I could see him going around and be like, "Hey, this is the guy that did our proposal."
yeah,
kind
exactly.
of pimping you a little
exactly.
bit. Now
And-
that is a cool. That's a cool feature. That's a cool service.
Yeah. And at
Unique.
the end now, instead of having the ring appear on the rose, I actually have it appear in her hand, which you can't.
So-
In my opinion, you can't get better than that.
Yeah, I was
So-
just going to say,
Yeah,
like,
I-
slide a hand like from a coin to the ring, or
But from a
like-
larger ring to the engagement ring, I do a ring and ribbon effect where I have this a ribbon and a ring, and the ring penetrates
Oh,
the
it's a
ribbon
big- oh, I
few
see.
times, and then I put it in her hand so I can't cheat. He's holding the ends. I
Right.
snap my fingers. I tell her, open your hand, take a look at that ring now. She opens her hand. The engagement ring is there. She's a little confused, doesn't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
'cause-
He gets down on his knees.
Yeah, I'm looking
And
at.
it's all
I'm
done.
looking at the ring that you just pulled out, and it's like a, it's a.
It's like the old carousel ring.
Yeah,
But
just
yeah.
I mean, it's a magician ring, generic looking. But like you said, if she's looking for a proposal, this might key her up a little bit.
I don't
huh?
think so.
No.
Nah, because
Okay.
it's a magician doing a ring and ribbon effect, so it has
not
nothing to
even-
do with anything other than taking this
Oh,
and
and
making
see
it
now that
penetrate.
you're doing it together like that, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a little.
If it was just that, maybe, but yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is just something you would see a magician doing,
Yeah, yeah.
so it would be commonplace.
So how long you been doing that?
I would say definitely over 10 years.
Whoa, so
Definitely over
over
10 years.
10 years ago, your neighbor's like, "Hey, I think this would be cool."
Yeah, I think it was. You know what? I got to look at the date, but I'm not sure. At least 10 years, all because my neighbor thought that would be cool. And now I have people contacting me from other parts of the country. I've done 2 proposals for couples from England, one from a couple from Japan, one from Israel, and all over the United States, from Georgia, Florida. California. So people find me online, say, "Hey, listen, I'm coming to New York on
Oh, I was gonna
vacation.
say.
I want to propose to my girlfriend. I've seen your videos, and I want to do it there." And I've done it anywhere from. I've done the most in Grand Central Station because I have those videos online. So many
So they
people have
see
seen them.
that.
There's, oh my God, that's the place.
Right,
I got to
right.
do it there.
Right.
But I've also done them in Central Park, Washington Square Park, Prospect Park in Brooklyn. I've done them in restaurants, so at private parties. So
Now, have you traveled to do it? Like, have you gone anywhere? They
No.
said, "Hey, we'll hire you to come down and do it."
no.
No, never done that.
No,
That'd be
yeah.
fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, do you travel much? Do you travel much with work now?
I do, but not. I would say probably my range is normally around 4 hours. My distance is probably anywhere from Delaware to Rhode Island.
Oh,
You know, I
okay.
do a lot of Boston, Philly.
But if like
New York, New Jersey,
Google said, "Hey, we're going to fly out to California," you,
then I'd be like, yeah,
That's-
I'm leaving, Walt. I gotta go. yeah.
Whew, man, look at the time. I got to go.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not the only one that's interested in this question. You ever have ones that bomb proposals where the lady's like, no.
Yeah, everybody asked me that.
Yeah.
And no. The good thing
Oh,
is so
shit.
far nobody's
Good for
ever
you.
said
Oh.
no. So I'm very happy. My thing is if the guy's gone as far as to do all of this and put
He
all
knows
of this
what's going
together,
on.
he's pretty sure she's going to say yes, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And if he's going to do this, he's probably a really good guy and she should say yes, you know? So I'll be honest with you. That's one of the things that I really like about it because when you got a guy that wants to go out of his way and do something so special for the woman he loves, I want to be a part of that. I want to help him create that memory that's
Right.
going to last them for a lifetime. You know?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think guys get a bad rap, nowadays, and if I could do anything to help somebody do that, yeah, I'm there.
I've been accused more than once that I'm a hopeless romantic, so I
Yeah,
get into all
yeah.
that stuff. Do you part of that service, do you videotape it, or you offer to have it videotaped?
I
Or-
offer to have it videotaped. I work with a videographer. I used to bring somebody with me, and they would video it, and I would give it to them for free. But one couple, the guy wanted to hire a photographer. So I said,
Sure.
yeah, sure, no
course,
problem. That's
yeah.
fine. So he hired a photographer from New York, this woman, blogger, who is really, really good. And she videoed it. She put it together with music that they chose and really, really professional. So anytime after that, I said, you know what, this is great. I'm doing it for free, but this is the way to go.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And I don't get anything from it. You know, I don't get any money from her, but I recommend her every single time because if you're going to do this, you want that
Man,
video.
yeah,
You know?
you got to have it captured somehow,
Yeah,
minimum with
yeah.
photo, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Something like
You-
that.
You want
go through
when
that.
when you have kids and your kids go, how do you propose? How did you propose to
Pose.
mom? You want to throw that in and show them how cool their dad is. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So,
Be like, hey, it's better I just show you. Let's not.
exactly, exactly.
I won't explain it to you.
Yep.
Now that's cool.
Yeah.
So what's on the horizon for you?
I'll just keep doing more
Just
of what
magic,
I do.
huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Any
absolutely.
anything you're reaching for at this point? Just bigger gigs, standard stuff.
Just standard stuff.
Okay.
Just more of the same. Honestly, I love what I'm doing. I'm really happy where I am. I love entertaining people, giving people that sense of wonder that
That's
they
awesome.
probably haven't had in a really long time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I know how I felt when I seen that first trick, and how I got into magic. So I want to give that to other people, and I think the majority of people love that and appreciate that. I love when somebody tells me. It's funny because somebody will say, "Oh, I don't like magic," and my answer to them is, you know what? I don't believe that. I believe you don't like bad magic because you probably haven't seen good
Right.
magic.
Yeah, yeah.
And people like that end up being your biggest fans.
Yeah,
I love when
absolutely.
somebody's skeptical and you see a little bit of that attitude in the beginning because I know this person's going to be night and day at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
So and I love doing that. It's really a cool thing.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of magic, but I'm the type of person that I just enjoy it. Like when
Yeah.
somebody's performing it, I just sit there and enjoy it. I don't try to figure out how it's done, anything like that. I just enjoy it it's like a bubblegum read, It's just
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Makes you giggle and makes you feel good and you move on.
And that's what I say. I always tell people the same thing. Just enjoy it. Figure it out later. Do whatever you want. But it's that moment. It's that moment that's so pure. Enjoy that. Don't
Yep,
take that
yep.
away from yourself. And even when people ask me, "Oh, can I video that?" It's fine. I'll let them video if you want a video. But I'd rather you didn't because videoing it is taking you out of the moment.
Absolutely.
Be in a moment.
Yep.
Let's share this together. Let's enjoy this.
Now,
And that's
do-
the way I look at it. I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm not trying to, people look at a magician, magician's trying to fool you. If that's what you're getting from a magician, he's not doing his job.
No,
Because the
no.
last thing I want to do is fool you. I want to share something really cool with you.
Yeah, I want to laugh and be like, "No fucking way,
Yeah.
that was cool."
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
reaction.
Exactly.
Now, in my opinion, there's two types of. There's probably more, but I'm going to generalize two types of magicians and get your opinion. You have the one that will take 10 minutes and tell a story and do all this and do one little trick at the end, or you have one that I kind of put it in with strolling magic where you do like trick after trick and it's like bang, 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 and you hit
Yeah.
people with like 5 or 6 tricks like really fast.
That's me.
That's you?
I'm the second guy.
Good for you.
I'm the second guy.
God, I can't stand those ones. It's like, so back in ancient Japan, this box was this and that, and look how magic it. I'm like, God, dude, just show me a magic trick.
Yeah. You know what? You have to be really, really good to pull that off. There's a magician, Josh J. You ever heard? No. He's really good at that. He could tell stories, weave them into his magic,
And he's good at
I
it?
think it's great. But you have to be that good to do that, in my opinion. And to me, I I don't enjoy that. I wanna hit them with something hard, fast. I want it to be amazing. People don't have the attention span that they used to. You know,
Maybe
They
that's
don't-
what it is.
Yeah.
Or going back to what you said, I haven't seen a good
Yeah, you have to be
magic
really
of that
good at
style.
it. Yeah.
Right? I haven't seen that style. Where I have a handful of magician friends that they're the quick style.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been spoiled by those guys.
Yeah.
Because they're just, in my opinion, they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know? And I think we both is that how we got connected? Simon?
Simon, yes,
That
absolutely,
dude's fucking salty of the earth, man.
absolutely.
I love that dude.
And I just met Simon not that long ago. Simon and we have a mutual friend. Me and Simon, Mark Fishman, Magica Marco.
Oh, I know Marco. I know Marco.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Me and Marco are good friends. We
Okay.
perform at a lot of events together.
He does.
We,
He's the one that he tells some stories and stuff.
yes.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
He
yeah.
does. But we
Yeah.
go back and forth. You know, I talk about his boring stories, and he talks about my boring mentalism. That's why I like watching paint dry. You know,
Is that what he tells you? Oh, that's great.
So we
dude.
go back and forth. But we're really good friends, and he's the one that introduced me to Simon. Although I gotta say, I don't know if this counts or not, but I was Facebook friends with Simon way before Marco introduced me to him. So I don't know if
I don't
that's
know if
real
that-
friends or not. But
Well,
you know.
that's depending on who you
Yeah,
ask,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Facebook friends,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Quote
absolutely.
unquote.
Yeah, exactly.
But I met Simon back 2013 when I first moved here. I had a video photo production company, and I don't know how we got introduced to one another, but he hired us to film one of his shows.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was just like, I was filming it, but I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. You know, some of his, because I like watching his Strolling Magic. He does a great stage show too.
Yes, yes.
Because I've been to some of those, but his Strolling Magic, he's got that personality, and he's so outgoing and all that.
Yeah.
Did you listen to his episode?
I did.
Did you?
Absolutely.
Ah,
Absolutely. That
the
was
free
awesome.
piano?
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got quite a story. He's a good guy. I enjoy him.
Also, Tommy Hilkin.
Fuck Tom-
I
hey,
met
fuck Tommy,
not that
dude.
long ago as well. I really
Fuck
liked
that dude. Wait till he hears that. We have a thing, inside joke with the word cock. So I'm
Okay.
just going to throw that out there. When he listens to this, he's going to be like, motherfucker. Because he has an adult show, right? He does
Yeah.
kids shows and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody has an adult show. You ever see one of his adult shows?
No.
Holy shit, off the rail.
Really?
He no holds bar. So his barometer is when he's trying to tell how the crowd is, he'll be like doing something, then just be like cock, and everybody's like, hey, he's like, okay, full
All right, we're
throttle,
good.
here we go, we're going.
That's
So
awesome.
that's his barometer. But Tommy's a real good buddy of mine. A couple years ago, he helped me out of a real dark spot. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's a good dude too. So we're both surrounded by a lot of good people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We met at a magic workshop. And,
You and Tommy?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long
And,
ago did you meet Tommy?
What was that? About a year ago, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was last November, and Marco was at it too. So Marco introduced. Tommy was speaking at the event.
Oh wow!
So
yeah,
and
he's,
then we
wow,
had,
he's a good speaker.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we had dinner together, and
Oh,
and
cool.
So
you ever been
really
to
nice guy.
the theater over in Sparta?
no, Marco's trying to get me to go there all
That
the time.
is
I got to go
super
over there.
cool.
He tells me how great it is.
Oh, just it's very oh geez, now what's the word I'm looking for? There's a variety of stuff in there. So what's that word? I'll think of it.
The first city.
Yeah, but it starts with E. Anyway,
eclectic.
eclectic. Thank you. Phew, couldn't think of that. But it's really neat. You get a really cool feeling when you're in there.
Yeah.
Even when the lights are on, when you first walk in, you get this cool feeling. But when the lights go down and the show comes on, it's just, he's got that place. It's awesome, man. If anybody can go there to see a show or spend some time there, it's just really neat. You get a really good
I gotta
feeling
check
there.
it out.
Yeah. I've
There's,
watched Simon, and then I watched Simon perform there, then he's down in Florida now.
Larry.
Larry.
I
You
met
know Larry?
Larry not too long ago as well. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Small world, man.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
We performed together on an event as well.
Larry?
About a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's when first time me and Larry met.
Oh, okay, cool. Yep. And then, what's your thoughts of the cruise ship thing? You ever think about doing one of those?
No, because I just didn't want to be away that long.
Okay.
If
so
I was
family
single,
and
yeah, I think if I was single, that would probably be a great thing. But with a wife and 3 kids,
That's a
that
little
would
tough.
be that would be hard for me.
yeah. How long you been married?
Next year will be 30 years.
Woo! Congratulations,
yeah, thank you.
man.
Thank you.
Oh, have you lived? You lived in New? Yeah, you lived in New York.
Yeah.
Where's she from?
She's also born and raised in the Bronx.
Woo!
Yep,
There you
so
go.
We both lived there our entire lives.
Some fist to skulls once in a while with you guys fighting, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too often, but when you do it, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah. No, and have you ever lived anywhere else?
No.
Oh, the whole time
But
there, huh?
when I was a teenager, I lived for a couple of years actually in New Jersey. So in Wanacue.
Across the big water, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I tell people.
Absolutely.
People, I got friends in Manhattan. They're like, "Oh, we got to come all the way to New Jersey." I'm like, "Seriously?
It's right
It's
there.
20 minutes away."
Yeah, no, I'm not like that. I'm
Yeah.
back and forth all the time. So
Yeah.
I-
Did you like living in New York?
I probably do. Oh yeah,
The city. I'm
absolutely,
talking, I know you live up.
absolutely. I'll tell you something funny. When we're looking for a place to live, we looked at a couple of places in New Jersey, and one day, my wife just looked at me and she goes, I don't mind, if we lived in New Jersey, but think about it, right? Like right now, we're New Yorkers. If we moved to Jersey, what would we be? And we both looked at each other at the same time, goes, New Jerseyans? And we're like, nah. And it was off the table from that moment on.
Oh my God! Because you didn't want to be a New Jerseyan.
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
know what they. Is there a word for it?
I don't even know. That's what we thought of. I don't know.
New Jerseyans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of New Yorkers.
I mean, there were words, but it's not,
yeah. Right. And then how'd you settle up to where you are now? Just
a friend of mine from the Bronx moved up to that area.
okay.
And he was telling me, "Oh my God, you can't believe it! It's like Montana up there. There's horses and there's cows and
You can see the sky.
Yeah, you can see the sky exactly. Do you know there's still stars? I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
No, come on.
No,
So-
there's no such thing as
yeah,
stars.
Yeah, I
right?
thought those burned out a long time ago because you can't see them.
No. We have trouble here with the glow of New York.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So what do you do? Go right up 287?
Taconic, go straight up to Taconic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not bad.
You
That's
can
an
go.
easy-
Yeah.
That's an easy drive.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
You could go up 287 too, and then to 87 go over the like the Beacon Newburgh Bridge or
Yep.
the Mid Hudson Bridge.
Yep.
You know where the walkway over the Hudson is?
Yep.
Up there, right there. I'm like 10 minutes from that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
that thing is beautiful. Have you gone over there?
No.
Oh,
no. Is it pretty
the
cool?
view is amazing.
Really?
It's
Yeah, I'll
really
have to
amazing.
check it out.
Yeah, definitely got to check that out. So
Well-
and we went up there, we looked around, and we fell in love with the place. So. And
Now-
we bought a house up there. And for the first year, we were absolutely crazy. We were every time there was a deer, we were all running to the window. We're like, "Oh my God! Hey, look, it's a deer! Oh, look, a fox! And look,
Oh, raccoon. Look, oh my
raccoon.
God.
Yeah, raccoon." And let me tell you, you're from the Bronx when the first time you're sitting out on your deck in the backyard and you're listening to nature, and your wife goes, "Wow, it sounds just like the Bronx Zoo out here." I swear to God.
All the insects and noise and everything else.
All the birds and the
Yeah,
insects
yeah.
and everything else.
Now, you actually own a home there? Or you
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
big plot of land?
2/3 of an acre.
Oh, that's nice.
So for us, it's
That's
humongous.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
first went up there, when taking pictures and putting them on Facebook, people were like, "So what park are you in?" Like, dude,
That's
that's
my
my
yard."
backyard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, do you still have? You probably have a lot of friends still down in
Yeah.
the city, and you
Yeah.
travel down there.
Yeah.
What's your
And
wife do for a living?
She works in a school. She works in,
Up that way?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Teacher,
Works in a
principal?
cafeteria.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Food.
yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Got to be around food.
Now, is that a private school or is that through the state?
It's a through the state.
Cool.
the
Cool.
state.
She's been doing that a while.
Not that long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
may-
thinking of pension, and all
Yeah,
that from the state.
no. Unfortunately, she's not full time, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's
okay.
no pension or anything like that. So
Now, is it the same school that your kids go to?
no,
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay.
yeah,
Be
It's
cool to see your
Hyde
mom.
Park District.
Oh, okay.
So we're Arlington District. So
Nice. Nice. Big vacations coming up at all? You guys like to travel?
no, we do, but we got a pool last year, so
There you go,
vacations
man.
are out.
You brought the vacation to the backyard,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much, pretty much.
In-ground pool?
No, above ground.
Above ground?
But like the biggest one they could find. Like the family was great. We actually had an intervention. I'm not even kidding. I was against this whole pool thing for a long time, and we come home and my wife's like, "Oh, I just made you a beautiful steak dinner. Come out to the deck," and we go out and she puts the plate down. I sit down and all my 3 kids are sitting around the table, and I'm like, "All right, what the hell's going on? I'm not on drugs, so why we have an intervention
Over a pool.
Yeah. She takes out a pamphlet, 101 benefits of above ground pool. I'm like, are you crazy?
Did you know that she wanted one prior to that?
Oh yeah. And I was
But
like,
you-
no, forget it, no. So we're going to chip in, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're not going to go on vacation, So like, okay, so we did the pool
How long ago? How long ago did you have
last year.
last year?
Yeah, so basically, the last 2 summers have actually absolutely sucked. I'm like, sure, we got a pool and the winters are cold, So,
Yeah. Now, have you changed your mind from the pool?
who, me?
Yeah.
I
You
was
still-
against it from day one,
You still against
I
it?
just went along with it.
Oh,
but-
okay. All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good when you're in there, but it's
a lot of work.
It's great. It's a lot of
Pools are a
work.
lot of
It's
work.
expensive, so
Yeah.
it really is.
Now,
It really
is the
is.
family
And they had to
enjoying it
get-
though?
They are. And you know what? That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
The kids
yeah.
are happy with it. That's what it's all about. So at the end of the day, as long as they're going there and they enjoy it, it's all worth it.
And they're
So-
bringing their friends over, and it's
Yeah.
everybody's hanging out. Yeah, that's
and
what
you
gotta
want
look
them
at.
close. You
Yeah,
want them close.
yeah,
So. And they, of course, they picked the largest pool in the whole store. They had to get like the 30-foot pool. I'm like, are you crazy? Can't you get the small one over? No, we got to get the biggest pool we can find. Are you trying to like cover up the entire backyard with
I was
the
just
pool?
going to say, there goes your park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
now
park
you're
is gone. They're doing laps in the pool. It's
Now, does your
crazy.
wife enjoy it?
Yeah.
She's really enjoying
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, and I guess that's what it comes down
That's
to.
what
right?
it's all
Yeah,
about.
They're
So,
enjoying
yeah.
it. And,
Yeah.
Uh,
But as the dad, you're the one always worried about the bills and how
of
much
course.
everything costs, and damn it, we got to do this. We blew out our well, so then we had to hook up to the to town water. Yeah.
would you blow out your well, fill in the pool?
Yeah. Not
God.
even filling it, just like keeping it full. Yeah. Because every
No.
time you get a truck, it goes low.
Yeah,
You've got to
sure.
bring a truck for $400 to fill it up. Like, what the hell? So,
You got hooked up to city water?
Yeah, so we hooked up to city, which is good in the long run, but
Sure.
it's crazy.
Now, did the city line was the city line already to your house, or did you have to have the service extended to your house?
How to have it extended to the house.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm very familiar with that.
It came up the street, so the line was at the street,
Yeah.
but we had to have someone come in and rip up from the street to the house and
Hook up to it.
hook up. So.
Okay. Do you see the benefits of that right away?
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. The pressure is crazy.
Crazy.
Everybody's
Crazy
like,
different.
oh my God, showers are fun again. Like,
That's
So,
awesome.
big difference.
Pool.
yeah.
Yep. Any other activities like horses? And your family will listen to this. So I'm gonna plant some seeds like.
I'll cut
Horses
it out. Cut
and
it out.
dogs and
I'm
cats?
not playing the foot. Oh, we got a dog. We got a dog. Yeah, he's 12 years old. So Pomeranian, who's
Okay.
out of his mind.
Yeah,
He
they're
thinks
normally
he's,
out of their mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He thinks he's he's a Rottweiler. He's a security guard. He's so high strung.
Little Napoleon
Yeah,
syndrome.
You got it. Absolutely. And he protects my wife, from the kids. Yeah, and especially her slippers. She's sitting on the couch. She takes off her slippers. He sits next to them, and as the kids go by, they'll walk by.
Growls at 'em?
He's just like, "Arr!" And he sounds like Cujo. He's not,
No
he
shit.
won't bite anybody, but he sounds as vicious and ferocious as you could think.
Over the slippers.
Over
Like,
the slippers.
don't touch these slippers.
Yeah, he don't like it touching the slippers.
No, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, he's out of his mind completely.
My brother has a mutt, and he's old. He's getting up there, and I don't know how old he is, but he's 13, 14 years old. But super friendly dog, right? But when you pet him, He'll come over and you pet him, and the way he shows his affection is he growls. It sounds like a growl. So when you're petting him, he's like, "Arr," and you're like, whoa, whoa, you know. But
Mine
that's
does
right.
the same thing.
Does he? Okay.
Mine does
yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine told me that it's almost like a dog purr. And I'm like, but you
That's a
don't
good
get
one.
it. He's growling. He's like, yeah, but that's,
It's like a purr.
that's his
I can
thing.
see that.
Okay.
Yeah. And this dog, he can't swim. Never met a dog that couldn't swim.
Yeah, ours can. And because last year we put him in, 11 years old, never touched water a day in his life.
Tossed him in
and
the
we
pool?
tossed him in, and he swam. I mean, he was swimming for his life. He was trying to get the hell out of there.
Sure.
He swam to the stairs, and he's like slamming into the wall. And so we took him out. But I was amazed that he could swim perfectly, no problem.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
that's.
wow.
I had a golden retriever when I was younger, and when I got him, the vet said he's gonna. Obviously, they're gonna love water, but don't force him into the water. Just let him go in the water, because if you force him, I don't. I can't remember why he told me that. Excuse me. So he couldn't stand two-stroke engines like dirt bikes and lawnmowers and we had a jet ski at the time. So we're down at the lake and he's still a puppy and he's at that puppy stage where his legs are 4 foot long and his paws are huge and he's all goofy,
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine takes off from the dock in a jet ski and he goes ripping after it down the dock. Right out of a fucking movie. He realizes the dock is going to end, and you could hear his nails going. He hits the edge, teeters, boom, falls in the water.
Right into the water.
Well, yeah. And I was like, everybody's like, oh my God. I'm like, fuck him. He's going to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
After that point, I couldn't keep that sumbitch out of the water.
Really?
Like we'd be hiking or walking down the road, a mud puddle, he'd jump in it, roll around in it. Any water at all, he would just try to soak
That's
it up.
wow.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm liking this.
Yeah. That was an amazing dog. One of the best dogs ever had. I had a border collie, a red and white border collie. Unbelievably intelligent. Like she'd look at me, and it like would make you be concerned. Her eyes, you're like, shit, man. I'm glad you don't have thumbs, because holy Christ, you're like I could tell you're thinking.
Very
Yeah,
expressive.
oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing
that's great.
dog. Amazing dog.
I used to have a pit years ago.
Oh, I love a pit
and
bull.
I loved him. He looked like Petey. He was all white. He had the brown spot over his
nice.
eye, a brown spot on his back, and he was so smart. And it was great because he would play. I would play very rough with him, and he would scratch me up and bite me, and I'd take a towel and I'd have him bite it and I'd swing him around my head and
Yeah.
everything. I'd take him to the park and I'd play with him, and kids would come over and he'd play with the kids, but he knew to never open his mouth with the kids. Like he would bump them and
like nuzzle
tease
them
and
and-
nuzzle them a little bit.
Yeah.
But he knew I don't bite them like he does with me.
Sure,
He's
sure.
like, "Ah."
Yeah.
It's amazing that he knew the difference.
Oh, I love pit bulls. Get such a fucking
They
bad
really
rap,
do.
dude.
They really do.
They're amazing dogs.
Yeah.
And I love how big, like the big block head. I love those, man.
Yeah. The guy that I bought him from years ago, I believe, if I'm correct, he ended up getting arrested because I think it was in a paper for fighting pits. And because when I went to buy mine, he showed me his the father that was in the garage, and he opened up this garage, and there was this massive. He had to be giving this pit steroids because it looked like a dog version of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No shit.
And it was this giant chain to the heater, to the radiator, and this dog was just like it looked crazy. It just didn't look normal.
Oh.
And he would tell me how he would only walk it late at night, so it never seen people. So once it seen people, and he would feed it raw meat with gunpowder in it to agitate the crap out of the dog. It's like, what the hell?
You should be arrested for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Years ago, I dated a lady. Her brother had a Rottweiler. Got a Rottweiler puppy, and
They're nice.
oh, I
They're
love
nice.
yeah.
I love
They're-
Rottweilers.
and they get a bad rap too
They
because
do.
of the way they look.
They're so sweet.
He built this harness for it with a one bottom plow, and he would have the dog pull the one bottom
You're
plow
kidding.
through the sand.
Wow.
But the way he did it, he made fun with it. Like he gave him treats for doing it. He wasn't like whipping it to do it. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't like beating it and saying,
Yeah,
pull the
yeah.
plow, you know. He's like, come on, come on, come on. And you know, man, that fucking dog was like 195 pounds.
Wow.
It just, like you said, just looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger looking. Of course, his head is fucking looks like a 5-gallon bucket. It's
They're
huge.
huge.
And just unbelievably nice dog. He thought he was a lap dog. So you'd sit on the couch, he'd come pile on your lap, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, 200-pound dog. But just same thing, man. Super nice, but they get
Yeah.
a bad rap too.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's my daughter's boyfriend has a was a Labradoodle. And,
Where it's curly
yeah,
curly hair.
yeah, and oh my God, they're
poodle
just-
that looks
they're
like a golden retriever.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. And they're just so lovable.
Oh.
You could grab her by her leg and just slide her around the house. She could care less.
And she's looking at
They're
you
just,
like, this is cool.
She's like, yeah, as long as you're touching me and you're
Yeah.
showing me some kind of love, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, and she's huge too, and she'll jump right up on you, sit on your lap. She thinks she's a puppy.
yeah. You ever see those forever puppies?
No, what's that?
So what they do is the small breeds of dogs, they breed it with like a golden retriever. So now that'll never get bigger and it never looks older than a
okay.
puppy. So it's like a forever puppy. I'm not sure. We'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
But I'm on the fence about that
Yeah.
because part of what's lovable about a puppy,
Is that it grows up?
it goes away.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
just the same thing like if you have something really nice that you're looking at, eventually you get not tired of looking at it, but it kind of draws
Yeah.
a little bland, right? Well, if you're looking at a fucking puppy every day, all right, he's still a puppy. You
Yeah.
wake up, oh, you're still a puppy. You know, so I'm on the fence with that.
Yeah.
I think they're incredibly adorable, right? But I like it too
Yeah,
when
definitely.
they grow up.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like your kids. You know,
Yeah, no, that's
you always
a good
have your
point.
kid, and yeah, I love my kids being small, and you're playing with them and everything. But I mean, if they never grew up and they just stayed like that, I mean, that's not right or natural either. You want them to grow up. You want them to turn into
Right.
an adult, and you know, because it's a whole different level of father son or interaction and
right.
everything. Like now, my boys are 17 and 21, and I love the fact that I mean, now we it's a total different relationship now.
Oh, absolutely.
And we get to do things. We go to comedy clubs together and enjoy different things, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Like you
the
said, it's totally
relationship
different
changed.
experience than pushing them around in a wagon.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
favorite comedian?
Ooh,
Are you do you like
Sam
Dirty?
Kinison.
Oh,
You're talking about
man,
someone
you're
old?
going- oh,
yeah,
man,
I'm going
you're
way
going old
old.
school. Holy
yeah.
cow.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Oh well, yeah, of course, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
When my wife and I first met, I introduced her to Delirious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, phew, man, that would not fly today.
No,
Oh
definitely
my
not.
God,
definitely not.
That was brilliant, brilliant.
I did. I did some stand up years ago
Uh-huh.
before I got into magic, and I remember it was funny because I loved Eddie Murphy, so I had taken a comedy class, and they had you bring in or come in and perform a skit from your favorite comedian.
Oh, geez.
So here's me standing up in front of everybody talking about, yeah, I got this car in my neighborhood. So when you leave the lights on, you go to get out the car, and the car's like, yo, man, you left your lights on. I'm sure they looking at me like, what the hell just happened?
I like his line was like, man, when I was first coming up, all I knew was Richard Pryor jokes and taking a shit. So that was my whole act was Richard Pryor jokes and how I took a shit. It's just
Remember,
he came up with some crazy
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Remember Aunt Bunny? Goonie Goo Goo. She
Oh,
slammed
yeah.
her face into the water and came up with a fish and said, Goonie Goo Goo.
Or the one he's like, back in the day, you'd be fighting with your girlfriend or your wife, and she'd be like, "Stop the car!" No, we'll have none of that. And he's like, "Nowadays, get out."
The hell out, bitch.
Get out, bitch. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, he's classic, man. I
Yeah,
loved Eddie. Well, I
yeah.
still like Eddie Murphy.
So many things now. You just, I mean, there's so much
none of
comedy.
that stuff would fly.
No,
though. It just sucks
no.
that people are so
Absolutely.
the way things are.
Yeah.
That just bothers the hell out of me. It's
I
like,
like
come
now,
on,
Trying to think who I like now. Jeselnik.
just when
I think that's his name.
so you more of a dirty? You like dirty comedians or?
Not really. I like funny.
Yeah,
If they happen
I'm
to
a
be
s-
dirty, that's fine.
Well, I just
You know?
watched Jim Gaffigan on.
Oh, yeah,
Amazon.
he's great.
Oh
He's
my
great.
god, I just
Absolutely.
laughed the whole. I don't think I
Absolutely.
stopped laughing the
Yeah.
whole time. His
Yeah.
deliveries,
Yeah.
his timing and cadence, and you're just like, that's just years of doing that shit.
Have you gone to Levity Live in Nyack?
No.
No.
Oh.
It's a comedy club in a mall.
Get the
in a
fuck
mall.
out.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nyack?
The place is awesome. It's
Okay.
awesome. There's parking. You don't got to go to the city. They bring in
Parking.
Yeah, they
You're a
bring in-
true. You're a true New Yorker when you're like, fuck. There's parking.
Yeah, exactly. Not going to Manhattan. Screw that. Like no. And they bring in first rate guys.
No shit.
Yeah, I can't even think who I seen there. I seen a bunch of people.
Yeah,
there so
I
far.
love comedy.
Yeah,
I love
me
I-
too.
Oh God, and it's. I guess you could rope that in with the same category as magic, right?
Yeah.
it's escapism,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? So I'm going to sit here and watch you for an hour
Yeah.
and forget about fucking everything in my life other than watching you.
Yeah.
You know, same
Yeah.
with comedy.
You want to hear something crazy I did? I always bring this up when I talk to people about getting their marriage proposal videoed, because I performed at the Comedy Cellar. Had a great night.
The
You know
big
where's
one
the
in-
Cellar, right? In the city. The Comedy Cellar. That's where everybody,
Oh, no, I know of it.
everybody
Yeah, yeah.
started there. Robin Williams,
Sure,
Eddie
sure.
Murphy. I mean,
Gaffigan was talking about it.
oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
You listen to Joe Rogan at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was on Joe Rogan, and he goes, hey, at like 10:30 at night, this is Gaffigan. He's like, everybody's in bed and all that, and he goes, I'll call the Cellar and be like, hey, can I come on for 30 minutes? But I don't want to bump anybody. You
Yeah.
tell me when I got a spot, and of course they're like, "Fuck yeah!"
They're like, yeah, come right
course.
over.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not bumping that. Hey, dude, get the hell out of here.
You're fucking gone, bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
But they talk about, and Rogan talks about the Cellar all the time, and obviously the store in
Yeah, yeah,
California
yeah.
where he is. But
And
I'll
I-
have to go over there one
I
night.
performed there, and
How long ago did you perform?
killer night. Oh, that was let me see, about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because my whole set was about being a father, and my kids were young at the time. My son was probably about 3-4 years old, and a lot of people said, and I never knew him at the time, but they said that I reminded them of what's that guy's name? Ray. He had a TV show. Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said
Ray-
that I reminded him of him.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
I'd never seen him, but once I did, and I guess he talks about being a father and that type of thing
Sure,
too.
sure.
So anyway, I performed there one night, and they're like, "Oh, do you want us to record your set?" And I'm like, "How much is it?" They're like, $30. I'm not spending $30 on a videotape. And I killed that night. You know how I kick myself in the ass all the time now that I don't have that video of me performing at the
When you
Cellar.
killed it,
and it was
too.
a great night. Killed
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
so,
When you kill it.
yeah, I don't feel too bad because I got a video of me performing at the at Caroline's, which
Oh,
was
wow,
an
nice.
awesome night as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So, but let me tell you, you got to know your crowd, because I also have a video of me bombing at the Boston Comedy Club.
Well, Boston's tough. I hear
didn't-
Boston's really tough to.
I didn't know it was a very young crowd, right? So I get on, and my first line is, "So how many people here have kids?" And I heard crickets. I was like, "Oh,
shit.
I'm like, this is going to suck."
See, that's where Tommy'd be like, cock.
Yeah.
And you'd
No,
look around and be like, oh.
I swear to you, the guy behind me, that's all he did. Like, nothing was funny. He's just like cursing and saying stupid shit, and they're like rolling on the floor.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta know your crowd. Like you
Yeah,
said,
I'm looking at
right?
my wife. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I could have just started, just screaming
throwing-
the F word. They would have been like, "Ah, this guy's hilarious."
Yeah, do like fucking one-liner jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'd have been on.
Absolutely.
Oh, the king of one-liners, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh, love Rodney
Oh
Dangerfield.
my God, that dude.
Love Rodney
My
Dangerfield.
wife said take her somewhere she's never been before. So
To
I
the
took her
kitchen?
Just like little little shit like that. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
My wife says she likes to have sex in the back seat of the car while I'm driving.
Hey, hey, and he does his tie, you know. Hey, hey.
Yeah, yeah. I get no respect.
No, another guy that I always said, comedian, I figure would destroy anybody in an intellectual conversation. George Carlin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. 100%.
Holy man, that dude
100%.
was
Yeah.
incredibly intelligent.
Yes, extremely.
And you probably only saw, you're probably just scratching the surface what you saw. So imagine like sitting on a bar stool with that
Oh, yeah.
guy for like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it'd blow your fucking
Yeah,
mind. You couldn't keep
couldn't.
up.
You
couldn't keep up.
Smoke would be coming out of your ears. Your brain
Yeah.
would be fried. Like
That guy
what?
was,
Yeah,
oh my God, funny. Oh my God, funny.
extremely funny, extremely intelligent.
Yeah, yeah. And Robin Williams.
Oh, forget it. Rob
Yeah.
Williams. Awesome.
Yeah, just classic
Awesome.
stuff, man. Hey, I'm a big fan
This
of
guy,
comedy.
it's amazing. Someone like this who is successful in everything he did, from being having his own TV show to movies to comedies to
Yeah,
to
yeah.
straight movies to stand up. I mean,
Well, they say it's a thin line between brilliant and crazy.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
so you move over that line into crazy, and then
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen at that
Yeah.
point. You know, but yeah, comedy's always good. Magic, I love good magic. Simon did hook us up with the Magic Castle out in California. Do you know
Oh, that
about
was cool. Yeah, how was that?
So just to be honest with you, I got this one line from this dude at the front door, and I've been a front door guy forever. Back in my days, I ran front door nightclubs, and I was a smart
Oh,
ass.
really?
Oh, dude, I just ripped on everybody, and so we're in line, right, to get in. And you know the deal is like you got to know somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know the
Yeah,
whole thing,
yeah.
but like Simon, we told Simon we were just talking with Simon, just a conversation. We're like, hey, we're going to L.A. or whatever. He's like, oh, you got to go to the castle. He goes, I'll let you know when you can call and make a reservation. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
the whole thing, right? But so we get out there with some friends, and there's this guy flamboyant, like out, like direct, because it's all valet parking, right? So you get out of the car, and he's like talking with you and entertaining you, of course, you know. And of course, people are like, I want to have my picture taken. Can you take our picture? Can you take our picture? Dude, this guy's like, eyes and teeth, eyes and teeth. Just the way he did it and the way he was,
Yeah.
there's no doubt why he was there.
Yeah, it's
right?
awesome. Yeah.
He was doing great at what he was doing.
Absolutely.
The castle was cool. The food was fucking amazing. I think we were, because it was a Sunday brunch, and I think we were like getting the C&D talent.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So the main show,
Also, the Sunday brunch is the only time where anyone under 21 is allowed in.
that's
So, yeah.
maybe what, I didn't know that.
I'll tell you
too.
about that in a minute because I found
Okay.
out about that the hard way.
Oh, so the main show was cool. You know, I can appreciate hard work, and these kids were up there and they were trying, and this one kid was super fucking funny. He did good. But then, you know, we walked around the castle, and they have all those little incursicities or whatever you call it all around, you know, the piano and
Yeah.
all that stuff. It was cool. I've always enjoyed that. And then we did the up close, like the little theater or whatever, where it only seats like 9
Yeah,
people.
close-up show.
Close-up show.
Yep.
I could have reached out and fucking strangled that kid.
Really?
I was like, I'm so fucking done with this. Just, I don't want to tear him up. I'd even forgot his name and all that.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those, and it was a little disappointing, you know, but I had to take it for what it was, and the whole experience was great, but that up close magic was, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
It kind of
That sucks.
put a little sour taste.
Yeah.
The whole day was going good because then we were doing that and then leaving.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the last thing you do is what you kind of remember,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I try not to ruin the whole day because plus the friends we were with, we just had a really good time and everybody was
Yeah.
laughing. We had a good time. But that kid, man, I'm like, oh, dude, you need to, nah, I just wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was one of those where I traveled all over the world, and we would talk for 15 minutes and flip a card and be like, ta-da! And I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Work on that.
Yeah.
But, that's not my business.
We were.
So-
I was out in L.A. for a training. I think it was like a 4-day or something, and I actually brought my son with me. He was my 21-year-old now. He was 10 at the time, so we were out there. We had 1 day to ourselves. So I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? We're in L.A. I'm like, oh shit, I could go to the castle. I never been to the castle. I gotta go to the castle. And I know some people that are members, but if you're a magician, you could get in. And I have proof. I'm a member of the IBM, SAM. I got my cards and that. So
Sure.
I call up to make a reservation, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. As I guess for me and my son, how old is your son? He's 10. Oh, you got to be 21. It's only on Sunday, and we weren't going to be there Sunday. So I'm like, oh, come on.
I think the show would have been a lot different if we were there
Yeah,
on
possibly.
the 21 and up.
Possibly. Now, my son lucked out, though, because since that didn't go through, I didn't know what else to do. So I'm looking, let's see what we could do around L.A., and I'm looking, and, Disneyland is right there.
Boom.
So I took him to Disneyland.
He lucked out on that
He
one.
lucked
Oh,
out.
damn, dude.
He lucked
Let's
out.
see, Magic Castle or Disneyland?
Disneyland, yeah. Yeah, we rented a convertible. We drove down. I didn't even tell him till we got there.
Oh,
we
wow,
got
that's
into
really
the
cool.
parking lot. And I just got out. I said, come on, we're walking. He still doesn't know anything. And, they got, you parked it Goofy, you parked it. I'm like, where you think we are? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, look around. You see some stuff? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, you see the signs, like Minnie and Goofy? Where do you think you might be? And then you see the him. He's like, whoa.
You could actually see it in his eyes when it hit. That's
That was
fun,
so
dude.
cool,
Oh,
so
how
cool.
Fun.
Now here's a crazy thing. I got 2 other kids at home.
Oh.
Not going. We kept this a secret for over 10 years.
Get the fuck out of here. Holy cow. That's like the little look and nod, like.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I took pictures of them there, and I had the pictures buried in a folder, buried in another folder. Never said anything because I was like, we got to go to Disney World with everybody before I, blurt out we went to Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then time just goes on, and time
You
goes
kinda
on.
forget about
and
it.
You kind of forget about it. And last year, we're all sitting out on the deck outside, and I forget what we were talking about. It's like, yeah. Because my son had just gotten like a Nintendo DS or something
Okay.
at the time, and he left it in one of the stores in Disney on like the main.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. And we had to run and get it, and thank God they found it because he just bought it. And we just bought it from him, and it was
Right.
expensive and all of that. So
Sure.
we say, like, oh yeah, that time we were out in California when Christopher lost his DS in the store at Disneyland. Yeah, and my other 2 were like, hey, wait, what?
What?
Wait,
What?
can you just back that story up a little bit? I was like, wait, what? With Disneyland, yeah. When we went out there, then no, you never told us.
That's awesome. You kept it from your wife, too?
No, she knew.
Oh, okay.
She knew,
Okay.
yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What is? Oh. Now, has your family been to World or Disneyland or
Yes,
Disney World?
Disney World.
After that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
That's why it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
didn't, then it would have been a big thing.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
was. Yeah, that'd
But
be
yeah,
like.
we've been there probably 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Since.
Yep.
So
Never
yeah.
been.
It's great. It's great. But
Yeah.
we went to last time we went to Universal,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter was big into the Harry Potter books, and I liked them as well. My other son. So in Universal, they have that whole Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's cool, huh?
It is
Oh.
incredible.
See, I love shit like
It's
that.
so
That's why we
over the
wanna
top.
Do it.
Yeah.
Over
And
the top, like you said.
And when you're in there, it's like closed off, so you don't actually see the rest of the park. So you're in that world, like 100%. So that's what's
That would be
really
cool.
about it.
So when on our honeymoon, we went to one of the stops. It was a big thing, but one of our stops was Cambridge, England, and we stayed in a place kind of like Downton Abbey, one of those.
Oh, yeah?
with the big gravel driveway, and the main transportation around there is bicycles, right? So we rented bicycles for the week, and riding around Cambridge, like quote unquote the back streets of Cambridge.
Yeah.
It was like being in Harry Potter movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
that's
it's all
cool.
those buildings are
Oh,
all
yeah.
the way they're designed and everything. I was just like, this is like fucking being in Harry Potter.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a big
that's
fucking
awesome.
a galoot like me going through England, bumping into everybody, and, you know. But no, that was. Oh, I was going to tell you, Six Flags. I just found this out, and I thought so. We're talking about Disneyland and amusement parks. Do you know where Six Flags got their name?
No.
It's originated in Texas, right? The company
Yeah,
started
yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah, because I think they have Six Flags over Texas out there. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, and the whole Alamo, and it's a whole story. But that had Six Flags over it before it became Texas. That's where the Six Flags amusement park comes from.
Yo, really? I never
Isn't
knew
that cool?
Yeah.
I heard
that's
that and I was
crazy.
like, that's fucking neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because
never
I was
knew
always
that.
like, Six Flags, or yeah, it's probably some dude had whatever. But no, that's where it came from. If you look at the detailed history of the Alamo
Yeah.
and like Texas,
Okay.
South Texas in general,
Yeah.
I say the Alamo because that was a point, right? It had Six Nations controlling it before it came to what it is.
Oh, okay.
So there's where your Six Flags come
Gotcha.
from. Yeah.
Have you been to the Alamo?
Oh, no. Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we
Oh, cool.
traveled when the video photo company, we were doing a internet TV show with classic cars. So we would travel all over the country and interview and video people with their classic cars.
Oh, okay.
And one was down at the Alamo.
Nice.
And it was like, everybody's like, that's the Alamo. I'm like, okay, cool. So next we got, when you're traveling like that,
yeah.
it's 15, 16 hours a day,
So you don't have time.
non-fucking stop.
Gotcha.
With the company, we would travel a lot. And it got to the point where we're sending crews, right?
Yeah.
We'd send a crew to Chicago, and they're like, woo, going to Chicago. I go, yeah, let's see how you think about that when you get back.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you're fucking seeing is the inside of the hotel and the conference where you're at. You're not going to
Absolutely.
be bouncing around and you're working so long and hard days that you're like, fuck this, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not
So many
as-
people that say that travel like that and perform all over the place, and all you see is the inside of
the
hotel
airport and the
rooms and the
hotel.
airport. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a comedian I like, Rodney Carrington. He's a country style,
Yeah.
super dirty, incredibly funny. I think he's fucking just, I love him to death. And seen him a bunch of times in concert, but he's got a little line. He's like, my kids think I live at the airport. Because they drop me off at the airport and they pick me up at the
Pick me
airport.
up there.
Yeah. So,
And I'm sure sometimes he's calling. Where are you? I'm at the airport.
Yeah, I'm at the airport. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
I'm at the airport.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming down, man.
Oh, my
That's
pleasure.
a hell of a
My
trip.
pleasure. It was great. It was
Yeah.
great talking to you. Great
Yeah.
being a part of this.
Yeah, and first time you ever been on a podcast, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I was on a radio once. It's similar, but first time
Yeah.
being on a podcast.
And if you heard at least Simon's. Have you listened
Yeah.
to any other ones? Or?
And Tommy. I listened to Tommy's as well.
Oh, okay. You see the format. There's no editing, so
Yeah.
everything we just talked about, I hit save,
And that's it?
That's it. I put a little intro and some music, and now I got a sponsor, so I'll tell you about that off air because
Oh,
it's
yeah?
not
Okay.
it's not, the ink's still wet, so
Oh, okay.
we gotta. But I'm very excited about that. They reached out to
perfect.
me. They're like, "Hey, man, that's pretty cool what you're doing.
Oh,
This is what we
that
can
is
do." And I'm
awesome.
like, "Holy shit, absolutely!"
That is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you about it, and
Nice.
and I'll launch it
Wish
later.
you a lot of
but
success with that. Man.
I appreciate
That's
it, man,
cool.
and thanks for your support.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right, buddy.
My pleasure. Definitely.
Talk to you.
All right. Thanks.
As always, thanks for listening. And what a unique way to propose to somebody, huh? That's kind of cool how he came up with that. He's doing well. So if you know anybody or you want to propose to your loved one, check Chris out. You can get to his information in the show notes. And if you want to reach out to ask any questions or schedule some time to be at the table, I would love to have you. Trust me, you have something to talk about. Reach out to me, website, waltzkitchentable.com, Instagram, WKT Podcast, Facebook would be Walt's Kitchen Table. Any of those platforms work. And look forward to hearing from you. And don't forget, liverishi.com. Jump on there, key in table, get hooked up. I really appreciate you supporting that. And till next time, much love.